Hi, everybody. My name is Caitlin Rubenstein, and I'm here to bring you some of our juvenile selections from Workman Publishing and our imprints. First up today, I wanted to share with you some titles that you may have missed that have recently published or have published within the last year. You'll see everything from board books to YA here in front of you, and there's something for every type of reader. Some of my personal favorites and callouts would be the ABCs of Black History, which is an amazing picture book that takes you through the alphabet, and it's not just one person or place or event dealing with Black history and Black culture for each letter, but multiple different people, places, and events throughout. So I really would urge you to take a look at this one. It's really beautiful. It's written in a poem, and we have an educator guide. Next, we have Hear My Voice. This is another picture book, really, really beautiful, but also really harrowing. This covers and amplifies the voices of children who have been detained at the border between US and Mexico. These voices of these children and the words on the pages have been pulled from actual court testimony. So it's what they've said, and the illustrations that are paired with them are beautiful, and they're from 13 different illustrators who all came together for this book. It's also available in English and Spanish. It's a flip picture book, so on one side it reads English and the other side in Spanish. Monarch Butterflies, I know I'm hitting all the picture books. I really love picture books, so I'm kind of just giving you the highlights here. Monarch Butterflies is nonfiction, and it covers the Great Migration of the monarchs, but it also deals with conservation with these beautiful, beautiful illustrations. Skunk and Badger. This is a middle grade series, the first in the series, written by Newbery Honor-winning author Amy Timberlake and Caldecott medalist John Klassen. Really fun odd couple friendship story, and we have an educator guide for that one as well. And then I would be a terrible person if I didn't talk about Furia. Furia is an in-house favorite, and it won the inaugural YA Author Medal from the Purabelle Prey Committee this year. So we're thrilled and honored to have won that and to be sharing Furia with you and your readers. Okay, on to some of our upcoming titles. I have so many adorable board books to share with you, and I don't have the time to talk about all of them. So please, copy down these ISBNs, download our handout in our booth, and be sure to check all of them out because they're all different and they're all so wonderful. But I'll just give you some highlights. Woodland Dance is the counterpart to Barnyard Dance by Sandra Boynton, sure to be a wonderful classic in your children's library section. Oakley the Squirrel and the Search for Z. This one's extra fun for me to present because both my husband and mother are terrified of squirrels, so I find it really fun to present this one. I don't fear squirrels, but they do. It's a silly and sweet alphabet book, and the author and photographer Nancy Rose hand makes squirrel sets. Then they're really squirrel-sized sets. They're really tiny. And I've highlighted a link here below for you to go to, and you can watch a video of one of the squirrels interacting. She leaves nuts in the sets, and wild squirrels come through, and she's far away clicking the shutter on her camera to capture the squirrels in action. Follow Wyatt and his mom, Rosie, as they embark on a heartwarming adventure in this gentle tale about having a parent with a chronic illness. Wyatt's mom, Rosie, has multiple sclerosis and doesn't always feel her best. Nothing stops them, though, from having the most exciting adventures. Some days when Rosie is tired, she and Wyatt build a special fort in the living room just for two. Some days, they cast spells on Wyatt's toys with Rosie's magical walking stick. Warm and uplifting, Some Days gently introduces young readers to the concept of having a loved one with a chronic illness. Although some days are fast and some days are slow, each day is still an adventure filled with love, excitement, and fun. Sorry, too fast. Be the Dragon. Be the Dragon is for elementary to middle school readers that delivers social emotional learning with the wild fun of dragons. Brief stories, personality quizzes, and hands-on activities are designed to help a child identify and celebrate their own dragon-like qualities, including the ability to overcome fears, discover your creativity and your passion, understand and harness emotions, and more. And I've added some spreads from the book here for you so you can see how sweet the interiors are. This is now in paperback. Go is a children's guide to graphic design covering form, function, color, typography, and much more. It also includes 10 hands-on activities at the end of the book. It's written by award-winning designer Chip Kidd, and this book really teaches kids to think creatively and about how graphic design works all around us. Adding to the hit study guide series Big Fat Notebooks comes the fourth in our high school edition, Pre-Algebra and Algebra. This edition covers everything from the number system to solving and graphing quadratic equations. All three of the high school editions below that are on sale now, biology, geometry, and chemistry, as well as pre-algebra and algebra 1, are packed with onomatopoetic devices, highlighted terms, and tips to help retain the most important information on each subject. All 6 books in the middle school line are also all available right now, and you can see those in the top right corner. Make Your Own Money. This is from award-winning author and charismatic motivational speaker Ty Allen Jackson. It takes kids on a how-to journey toward financial literacy with tips and guidance for making money and minding their own businesses. This lively, easy-to-read blueprint for financial success provides creative and practical tips for earning money by starting a business, and it even covers how to write a business plan, raise startup money, and understand profit and loss. It also teaches economic vocabulary, things like needs versus wants, goods versus services, and essential life skills for handling money, like how to open a bank account or create a budget or invest and donate. So definitely a really good title for kids, but I think adults as well. I'm so excited to be presenting the second book in the charming series I mentioned before, Skunk and Badger, with our adorable Skunk and Badger Odd Couple Friendship story series. This is again by Newbery Honor-winning author Amy Timberlake, and Caldecott medalist John Klassen has put spot illustrations and also some full-page illustrations throughout. Buried in the heart of every animal is a secret treasure. An egg marks the spot. Badger has his eye on the spider eye agate, stolen years ago by his crafty and treasure trade dealing cousin Fisher. When Mr. G. Hedgehog threatens to take the book review as soon as it thumps on the doorstep, Skunk decides an adventure X marks the spot will solve all their problems. Badger agrees, and off they go for their favorite campsite on Endless Lake. But all is not as it seems on campsite number 5. Harumphs in the night, unexpected friends, and then Fisher appears, and Badger knows something is up. Something involving secrets, betrayals, and lies. A luminous late Jurassic prize as well. You can see here all of the wonderful accolades and awards that Skunk and Badger won and received in 2020. You know, I really would urge everyone to go and give this book a read if you haven't, and to get really excited and start reading book number 2 on NetGalley now. Tin and Coal are back in the 3rd installment of the Oddmire series. This time, Tin and Coal are on a quest to find the mystery surrounding their long-lost father, Joseph Burton. Favorite friends Evie and Fable join them as they venture further than they ever have into the deepest, darkest part of the Wildwood. Will they find the answers they seek before an ancient evil consumes the Wildwood? The first 2 books in the series are available now, the Oddmire Changeling and the Oddmire book number 2, The Unready Queen, and you can get Deepest, Darkest on June 22nd. How to Become a Planet. If you've ever met me, which I hope many of you have, you'll know that I am a very big Nicole Melody fan. And she is back with her third novel with us, How to Become a Planet. It received a starred review from Publishers Weekly, who calls it an acutely observed and authentically told tale. Even more fantastic reviews come from Kirkus, who says that readers will find insight and compassion around setting realistic goals and navigating results that may not match initial expectations. A realistic, hopeful account of personal recovery and discovery. And Booklist, which describes it as a character-driven novel with a hopeful tone that will resonate with many tweens. How to Become a Planet is about Pluto, who always starts the summer with a trip to the planetarium. Summer is her absolute favorite season, but this year, nothing really feels possible. Pluto struggles with anxiety and depression, and this is a beautiful, sensitive, and relatable story. She realizes that even armed with a checklist of things to get her back to her old self, that there is no old Pluto or new Pluto. There's just her. Nicole's previous titles, Hurricane Season, which is a Lambda finalist, and In the Role of Bree Hutchins, are both available now. Cold-Blooded Myrtle is the third in our Edgar Award-winning series. Premeditated Myrtle, the first book in the series, just won the Juvenile Edgar Award. And Myrtle is on the case when the proprietor of Leighton Mercantile is found dead on the morning of his annual Christmas shop display to be unveiled. It's clear the killer had revenge in mind, but who would want to kill the local dry goods merchant? Perhaps someone who remembers the mysterious scandal that destroyed his career as a professor and archaeologist. When the killer strikes again, Myrtle finds herself racing to uncover the long-buried facts of a cold case and the motivations of a modern murderer. This is an amazing middle grade cozy series and is fantastic. I like to refer to it as like a Victorian Harriet the Spy. Up All Night is an anthology by YA author Laura Silverman of Girl Out of Water, and you asked for perfect. This anthology is about the time between sunset and sunrise, when the lights are off, the calm settles over the world, and magic can be felt, and anything is possible. Stories from all genres, from romance to horror, are shared in 13 short stories by YA powerhouse authors such as Nina LaCour, Tiffany Jackson, Brandy Colbert, and Karen McManus. SLJ gave it a wonderful review, and they said this collection of stories, all set in the nighttime, seamlessly brings together some of the biggest names in YA fiction. The mix of genres and diverse casts allows the collection to address many issues plaguing teens. High-interest stories by popular authors make this a first purchase for high school libraries and teen collections. Set in a tumultuous year leading up to the surprise overnight raising of the Berlin Wall in August 1961, and punctuated with real-life photographs, as you can see here on the screen, I've added a couple of spreads. It also includes headlines and personalities of the time. Walls brings to vivid life the heroic and tragic choices of the Cold War. Drew is an Army brat, hotshot athlete, poised to be his high school star pitcher. But when he has to move for the 6th time in 15 years, this time to West Berlin, where American soldiers, like his dad, hold an outpost of democracy against communist Russia in Hitler's former capital. Meanwhile, in East Berlin, his cousin Matthias has grown up in the wreckage left by Allied bombing during World War II on the streets ruled by the Communist Party's secret police. From the opposing sides of the Cold War, Drew and Matthias begin to overcome the many ideological walls between them to become friends. They argue over the space race, capitalism, socialism, and even the American Civil Rights Movement, and bond over rock and roll, music outlawed in Matthias' part of the city. As the political situation around them gets all the more dire, Drew and Matthias' loyalty to their sector, their countries, their families, and each other will be tested in ways that will change their lives forever. You may know the author, L.M. Eliot, from Suspect Red or Under a War-Torn Sky. Last but certainly not least, I have The Scratch Daughters, and this is the second book in the Escaped Gracers trilogy about Sideways, a formerly outcast lesbian witch who struggles to keep her coven as the loss of her magical soul drives her to desperation. The first book in the series, Escaped Gracers, is a 2021 Rainbow List title. I like to refer to this one as like Mean Girls and the Craft, except instead of girls in a group breaking each other apart, this one really is about female empowerment and coming together and building each other up. That's it for me. Thanks for sticking with me. Here are all of the many different ways that you can reach me. I have two newsletters. One is everything about Workman and all of our imprints, like the titles that you heard about here today. And the other is all things middle grade all the time. It's a quarterly newsletter. It comes out 4 times a year, and it covers all middle grade from all publishers. So please be sure to sign up and stay connected. Thanks so much.